All right, cool. So I've been given the go-ahead that we are live now. So hello everyone. It's been a while. I don't think I participated in the last SNES Super Stars, but yeah, this time I come back to run only one single game and a number of its categories. Some very short and another one, well, still short, but not that much. Not that much longer, assuming everything goes right, which is very much assuming a lot of things in this game. But, yeah. Clock Tower. This is a survival horror game. It's also a point-and-click adventure game. Give or take, that's kind of the type of game you're going to see here. And it also carries multiple endings, and we're going to be doing 3 of those endings. And one of them is going to be very confusing as to why it is that type of ending. But, yeah, it's due to some broken stuff. So, with that, we will start with the actually very broken and very short category, the D-ending category. This is the only category in the game that's actually got no RNG involved. It is all luck. It's all luck. Anyway, we will get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So right off the get-go, we're in this dark room. We're going to enter the first door we see, and then we're going to reach up here, climb up this little pile of rocks here, and we're going to grab our first item. Items really break the game wide open, so getting one as soon as possible is really important. And we need this item here to break through this thing here, and now comes the big skip of this category. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Alright, good. So, we actually skipped a death trigger at that exact pool that you saw in the background there. So normally what's supposed to happen is Anna's supposed to actually drown in that pool, and Bobby's supposed to come out of it. But because we carefully manipulated Jennifer's movement, we actually skipped the death trigger there. So the game is now in a very confused state. And because it's in a very confused state, we actually can just rush straight to the fastest possible way to escape and beat the game. And that actually causes you to achieve the D ending. It's, might not make much sense, but that's what happens when you beat the game while the game is extremely confused about why you haven't experienced or you haven't witnessed somebody's death yet. Because normally you are supposed to encounter at least one of Anne or Laura's death. And you're probably asking, who are those characters even? We haven't seen them yet, but yeah, you'll get to see at least one of them in the next category. So yeah, that was the D-ending category. Very short category, and like I said, no luck involved. The only category in Clock Tower that is not going to involve a horrendous amount of luck. Which is very much unlike the next category we are going to be doing, and that is the C-ending category. What is, in my opinion, the best canon ending. There's 3 endings that are technically canon in this game, and C ending I think is the best one. So I've actually pushed that one the hardest out of all of them. But yeah, basically this is it. You might be thinking, this is the H ending. You escaped via the car. But when you actually skip when you skip all the death triggers in the game just gives you the D ending. That's why it's called this. That's why this is the D ending category. More seasoned veterans of this game could better explain. Could probably better explain the nuances of that than I could. but that's basically what's going on there. Alright, so I'm going to reset now, and we're going to start the C ending category, because that was a very, very short category. And this time, you will get to see the majority of the game as it was meant to be played. And hopefully luck treats me well. Anyway, so this will be the C ending category. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. So this time, instead of going through the first door we see, we're going to go through this door over here and then enter the next door in this room, in this hallway here. And this is because this room contains the possibility of having a very important key called the West Wing key. Sometimes this box doesn't have it. It's a 50-50 chance. What do we get? We do get the West Wing key, so that's actually really good. That saves me quite a bit of time. So now we're going to exit out of this room, and we're going to head straight to the end of this hallway. And this is where normally the game will, you know, this is where the game will normally force you to either witness Anne or Laura's death. Anne is in that bathroom. Laura's in the bathroom. Anne is gonna fall through this chandelier here, and you will get to meet Bobby here, the main villain of the game. So there's going to be a nice little glitch here where I'm going to proceed to run past Bobby because, you know, logic. That just completely logical. No. There's an actual trick there. So if you interact with the stairs behind Bobby, it will prioritize your interaction. Wow, why did I do that? It will prioritize your interaction with the staircase, so you'll actually run straight through Bobby. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what happens there. Gosh, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. There's also a bit of luck where Bobby can delay his movement. And when he does that, he can potentially turn around and try to have a little bit of a quick time event where all I really have to do is spam the action command, the B button, I guess. And now we're in the West Wing key, and this is where a huge amount of RNG is present. So some of these, there's 5 rooms in the West Wing key that are all altered. Like, they're all randomly generated based on when you press start on the title screen. And that unopenable door is one of them. The piano room is another one that can be randomized. We're looking for the library, as the library does contain... the library contains an easy way to break off of Bobby, as well as gives us the answer to whether we have a staff seed or a demonic knowledge seed. And we want the demonic knowledge seed because that will save us at least about 4 to 5 minutes in the run. So here's the library. And we're going to go down into the middle here and just wait for Bobby, and that's going to be our way of breaking off from him. Don't ask me why that works. That's what happens. And we did not get the demonic knowledge. So this is not a very good seed, unfortunately. And to make matters even more problematic, we do not have... Oh, actually, no. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to quickly backtrack, and we're going to go back to the piano room because we know that's where the staff is at. And here in the piano room is where the staff is going to be. Because we know we're on the staff seed instead of the demonic idol seed, we know the staff is in here. If you actually investigate this drape and it's not the staff seed, Bobby will pop out of there. So you do have to be wary of that. I'm also going to leave this room because this room's kind of creepy, actually. Sometimes the music, that vinyl set over there starts playing music, and it's a little unsettling, to say the least. So now that we have our item, we can actually reduce some lag as we go. So if you might have noticed that the portrait there kind of spazzing out a little bit, all I'm really doing is opening up the menu constantly and closing it, and that's actually meant to save frames in your movement by dropping the lag a little bit. That's all I'm doing there. So now, normally you can actually... what you're supposed to do there is you're supposed to interact with that hole in the floor and then interact with that board on the wall. But through careful use of button presses, you can actually just run across. You can run across that gap. The timing is pretty tight, though. Alright, so this room here is the painted room, or the one next to us. This is a fairly dangerous room here. You might notice that box in the corner there. There is a 50-50 chance that Bobby may pop out of it. Sometime the other 50% is a black cat. And it's a timed thing. So if you are not quick about dealing with this room, you will have that encounter with either or. Obviously, if it's Bobby, it's really, really bad because you have to shake him off before you can actually go through here. Another thing that you probably haven't been noticing is that with the items, I'm able to skip text. Like so. There actually is a lot of text to sift through there if you actually properly interact with that item there. But because we pressed X and Y at just the right timing, we can sort of shimmy the D-pad back and forth after successfully pressing X and Y like we did here. And then we can just press left and right constantly and skip all that text. All that plentiful text that kind of eats up time. So once again, we're going to go across the gap like it is no big deal. And we're going to head to the doll room, the infamous doll room. This is another luck factor in the run. But it's only about a variance of like 30 seconds, usually, between the worst possible luck and the best possible luck. So what I grabbed there is the Ceremonial Key. We do need that key in order to access the Cradle Under the Stars room. In that room is a puzzle. There's a puzzle in that room. And you have to solve that puzzle with one of the two items, the demonic idol or the staff. That's why those items are very key and important. Oh, okay. My bad. I messed that up. We're going to restart. Thankfully, when you... if you accidentally have a little bit of an accident, all you really have to do is press reset and just hit continue. And then, poof, you're right back in the room you were. That was actually kind of a really awkward position for the doll to try and interact. What I probably should have done was just stand there and take the hit. I wanted to get past the doll. Come on. Come on. Okay. Yeah, sometimes the doll is a little bit finicky, and you have to wait for it to crash into that wall there before you can actually go through it. So since we have the staff seed, we have to backtrack back to where we originally encountered Bobby. And this is very important because in order for us to properly utilize the staff, we need to access the silver key room, which involves us needing access to the golden key room, where the silver key room is resides in. So we do have to go back down the stairs, because in order to access the gold key room, we need the gold key. And the gold key is always in the same location. It's in the kitchen. And I actually made a little mistake going for the rope here. I probably could have just grabbed the ham, and then the ham would have been able to carry me to victory. So the kitchen is all the way over nearby where the garage where the car is. It's the very first door in this hallway. Oh, I don't have pesticide. I'm stupid. Wow. Okay, that is a massive, that was a massive lapse of judgment right there. My bad. So, unfortunately, because I forgot about the pesticide, I gotta go all the way back upstairs and grab that stuff. Come on. Come on, Jennifer. I completely forgot about that. My apologies. Yeah, the pesticide is always in that upstairs storage room, and that room is always the same. It never changes its location, no matter what the seed is. So we do always have to make this trek over here. I completely forgot about that. I had the opportunity to quickly grab it, and it's right here. And that's literally all we needed to do, was we needed to grab that pesticide. And the reason why we need the pesticide is because where the gold key is located in the kitchen is in the meat, where the meat is stored. But the meat is all rotten. So there's all these nasty bugs, and you need the pesticide to kill those bugs. And once you kill those bugs, you gain access to the gold key room. So a little bit of an unfortunately fairly big time loss, me forgetting about that. But sometimes it do happen like that. Hopefully we do win the 50-50. That would be ever so helpful if we do get the 50-50 of the gold key and the silver key room, because those rooms are also randomized with each other. Sometimes you may end up getting the gold key room upstairs, and if that happens, that's also a fairly big time loss. We want the gold key room to be literally the room right next to the door that we're gonna go through and enter, where, like the main big room where we first originally encountered Bobby at. Alright. Keep your fingers crossed. We're really gonna... Like, we're already going to be going over estimate with this particular run. Okay, good. We did get good luck there. That's good. Oh, unfortunately, though, we did encounter Miss Mary, so that is a little bit of bad luck, too. But it is very significant. Because we already know Miss Mary here is not a good person. She's actually very evil. In fact, she does try to stab you here, so you need to leave the room. Since you already know she's not a good, she's a villain, you already know to try and escape from that room. And you can just enter back in, and you won't encounter her again. Once you originally encounter her there, you will not encounter her again in this room. But that is why we do... That's why we do end up going to the room where that body in the painted room was at. Because there's two ways of knowing... there's two ways of knowing Mary is not a good guy. There's two ways of knowing she's a villain, and that's by way of two particular discoveries. One is the guy who's locked in the shed, which we have not encountered, and I'm not going to say who that person is. And the other person is the body that's in the painted room, which I also don't want to actually specify and talk about who they actually are. I'm sure there's some people who have played this game, and they know who these characters are. I'm only saying who they're... I'm only trying to avoid saying who they are because they are... That is major spoilers in the run. Or major spoilers in the story. So... Just trying to respect the people who may have not played this game. Thankfully, playing through the game, you're not going to really know. You're not going to know... gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Well, either way, we got to the Silver Key Room, and that whole bit with that painting on the wall, that is what we needed to investigate in order to know how to use the staff in the Cradle Under the Stars puzzle room. So now all that we have left to do is to go to the said room with that puzzle. And really, it's a very simple puzzle. Like, you only need two particular items. It's just a matter of which one you actually need, because, yeah. I guess while we have some time, though, because we do have a little bit of downtime here, after the puzzle is solved, it will open up the area underneath. So we end up going into the basement. We end up going to the basement, and this is where we're going to encounter a dog. And we can get past this dog with a number of key inputs being utilized. Whoops. Okay, that's fine. This is a very minor time loss, not getting that text skip. Typically what you're supposed to do in this to get past the dog is you're supposed to use a cloak that's supposed to make you look like the main one of the villains, and that's how the dog it's how you make the dog think that you're its owner, or his owner, his or her owner. I don't know what the gender of the dog is. All right, so I'm gonna get past the dog, and then there is another text skip there that happened right after him. Now this next text skip is really important. There we go, we got it, good. So that's the lock text skip. Very important I get that text skip because it loses you about 20 seconds if you miss that. And from here on out, it's just a race to the finish. We're going to be heading all the way to the other side of this room here. And this is where we're going to discover... we're going to discover a little something that we probably should not have discovered. And once again, I will not talk about who this character is. I just know it's some massive monstrosity, and we have to run away from it. Yeah, if it wasn't really clear, there's some satanic rituals that are going on. Oh, and the other thing I probably forgot to mention during the whole Lot text skip, Lot is actually one of the characters that this main character here, Jennifer, knows. And I guess I probably will take this time to sort of start explaining the story, sort of the base story, what you get to know about at the beginning. So Jennifer here is an orphan, and she was adopted by this family known as the Barrows, and she was adopted along with 3 other characters from the same orphanage. 2 of them are Anne and Laura, who I've mentioned a number of times, and the 3rd one is Lot. And unfortunately, that interaction with Lot, she did die afterwards. Not to spoil it there, but because you didn't see it, but yeah, the character died while off screen. So we're almost at the end there. We just have a couple more key interactions, and then one more altercation with a familiar face. So yeah, despite the fact we went over the estimate by quite a bit due to bad luck and a really bad judgment error on my part involving the pesticide, this will still be made up for the fact that yeah, we started the second the second run pretty much right after the first one. So it's okay. We will skip the break and jump right into the F ending, and hopefully we will have better luck in that category. Obviously, I cannot promise anything. Can't recall the last time I even got a demonic knowledge seed. I was actually practicing quite a bit today. Have yet to get a good seed with the demonic knowledge idol seed. All right. And there we go. That's pretty much the last object we need to interact with. We have one more QuickTime event, and then once that QuickTime event is over, that ends the category. Yeah, that's pretty accurate given what happened in this run. Oh well, it happens. It happens. That's clock tower runs for you, folks. That's clock tower runs for you. You want a game with a lot of randomness? This game has it. It has it all. They specifically do have a lot of RNG elements in this game so that every experience kind of is a little bit different, theoretically speaking. But yeah, that is the C ending. That is the game played properly to completion, playing out with all the luck that it can throw at my face. So with that being said, let's jump to F ending.